have to just say a little aside. I don't know who found the title of Yadon Ki Barat. I was with someone yesterday and they said it's the name of the autobiography of the Urdu poet Josh. And he called it Yadon Ki Barat.
Josh Malihabadi's autobiography. In fact,
I
Salim
think
Saab
there's a
mentioned...
gentleman right at the back who has been waiting a long time.
Good evening, everyone. Adab.
Hi, Adam.
Mr. Aamir Khan Saab, this question is for you. Your senior generation wasn't very supportive of you. I mean, they didn't really encourage you when you want to join films.
My senior generation, you're talking of Chajan and Appajan.
That's right. That's right. Your father and your uncle.
Yeah.
Now, similarly, when Imran decided to get into films, how supportive were you with Imran?
I produced a film for him.
That's right. So, because Imran just mentioned that nobody from his family was supportive, but you did produce a film for him.
Yeah. No. I think he was joking. When Imran said he wanted to act, I mean, I was very happy about it. And in fact, at that time, Jammu Sugam was producing the film. And yeah, so I was not producing it. It was Jammu Sugam producing it, and Abbas was writing and directing it. And I knew that Imran is interested in acting and he's going. I always like to leave people alone. I don't want to start interfering in Imran's life or in anyone's life, So I knew he was doing something, and whenever he needed my help or something, I knew that he would come to me. And if he didn't need my help, he wouldn't. So as it so happened, when he came and told me that we are having trouble with that film, and perhaps Jammuji is not in a position to make the film at this point of time. So that's when I first asked Jammuji, are you making the film or not making the film? He said, "नहीं, मैं अभी नहीं बना पाऊँगा. If you want to take over, you can." So I heard the script, I liked the script, and we did a screen test. We did about 6-7 scenes, and did the casting. And so I mean, if I was not supportive of him being an actor, I wouldn't have gone ahead with that.
There's another question there, yes, and then we come to you.
But all of us in our family are very obstinate. कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. हमारे elders क्या सोच रहे हैं? हमारे आजकल तो मैं सोचता हूँ मेरे youngsters क्या सोच रहे हैं? मुझे क्यों पता है? My kids don't agree with me half the time.
So my name is Krutarth Desai and I am a big fan of yours. मैं अपने लिए बहुत बड़े सुपरस्टार हूँ. So sir, inspiring from you, मेरा एक विजन है कि मैं किडी प्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट करना चाहता हूँ खुद का.
Are we talking about Nasir साहब?
हाँ सर, कि एक ही बात की सर, आपका जो पूरे लाइफ स्पैन में आपने आप मुझे कोई एक ऐसा मैसेज देना चाहोगे which I can carry with my entire career कि लाइफ आपने जो सीख ली.
Strictly speaking, this is not about Nasir Saab.
No, it isn't about Nasir साहब at all. I think you'll have
मैं
to...
क्या advice दूँ आपको यार? आप अच्छा ही करोगे. I think.
There is a... Yes.
Follow your heart.
And where's the lady?
Follow your heart.
Lady, okay, we go with him for a quick question and then go to the lady. Yeah.
This is for writer. Akshay, you lived this book. Sometimes you got some ideas, right? So my question, when you did research, when you meet with the people...
Modern women in Indian movies. Like, what is your definition
Oh, no,
of
that's...
modernity?
Let's talk about Nasir Saab's women.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
mean-
much more the point. Can you take...
Yeah, like while directing, or how do you usually portray a modern woman? What is the definition?
Someone who's independent, someone who has her own mind.
Okay. Not through like, if you just show them drinking or smoking, I don't think so. That is a concept of being modern.
I think you might have misunderstood what I was saying earlier. A woman who's independent enough to decide what she wants to do, and she doesn't need to take permission from anyone. So when she does things like having alcohol or cigarette, she's not seeking anyone's permission to do that. Independent woman.
Okay, there's a
She may be
gentleman...
doing other things also. I just give it as an example.
Can you just stand up and ask? We've got time for two more questions.
Hi. Hi. I'm not quite sure whether he said much to me. No, he didn't. No, he didn't give me any inspirational words. Yeah, he didn't come to set. Jajant, in the entire shooting of Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, he never came on set except for one scene. The only scene he came to set for was the interval scene. But otherwise, he was not on set, so he didn't really say much to me. He left us to it, yeah. He left us to it.
But it's interesting that this interval,
But
because
he
it's
would
crucial.
give me one, he would say one thing to me repeatedly. कि happy ending जरूर shoot करना. So that was a constant refrain that he had with him.
They shoot to kiya humne.
And you
मैंने
did
shoot
shoot.
किया,
We shot both
और
ends.
कभी देखा नहीं उसको.
We didn't even edit it.
Okay, there was the gentleman very enthusiastic here.
I'm a big Nasir Saab fan. His last two films, although I've seen both of them, Zabardast and Manzil, 5-6 times, and I love them, but they were not as successful. In fact, they were not successful.
They were not successful.
Yeah. So, but great music also. So, was he? How did he take failure when he was consistently a successful filmmaker? And even Zamane Ko Dikhana Hai did well, but not as
Not that way.
Yeah. So, how did it take failure?
I think all three of us have our different point of views, perhaps.
Yeah, because actually those two films came much later. I mean, they came later. Zamane Ko Dikhana Hai was the first film which actually delivered a shock to him. And I can say that because I didn't spend as much time maybe as Aamir did with him, but that phase I was spending. Never seen it actually.
He'd never seen failure in his
Complete
entire
rejection
career.
So yeah, he didn't take it well.
Even I remember that he was quite depressed, and he was really mourning the fact that the film hadn't worked. I remember that.
And he had one question of me, because when the trials used to happen, the first trial, second, third, fourth, and I used to go for them.
Cultural issues that he may have had, and we can go into an analysis of that. But I have to say that whenever I saw Zamane Ko Dikhana, I loved it. It used to, but you have to know that the trial used to end, screening used to end at train का गाना. वो गाना खत्म होता था, trial खत्म होता था. Last के 4 रील shoot नहीं हुए थे. So those trials which used to end with there, we knew कि अभी 4 रील shoot होके आनी है. We used to love it. I used to just love that film. And everyone used to love it. See, Chashna was a very emotional man. What happened is that he and Tariq Bhai were not, getting along well for some time. And after very long, and Tariq Bhai's career, of course, then after that didn't do very well. And then Tariq Bhai came back to him and told him that, I really need your help. Can you do something for me? Now, Nasir Saab is essentially an emotional person. So what he did is, which I think he should have never done, quite honestly, but because he was concerned about Tariq Bhai and he was, he loved Tariq Bhai, so he said, okay, and he changed the last 4 reels from his original script, and he added the character of Tariq Bhai, who comes from nowhere. And he had to then explain कि who is this person, why is he here, उसका क्या backstory है. तो वो इतना mess हो गया last 4 reels. You remember, Mansoor? So last 4 reels became a mess because after shooting 80% of the film, he suddenly decided that I'm going to bring in a new character. And I'm going to give this role to Tariq Bhai, who's asking me for help. So I'm going to do what it takes. So he did that. He tried his best. He rewrote those last, the end of the film, and tried to bring in this character, and that is what messed it up, according to me. If he had just gone with what he had originally written, then according to me, the film would have been a success. With its limitations, it would have been a success, with what Mansoor was saying. Because it was a very enjoyable film. It was a very enjoyable film right up till that point. Then it used to just go downhill from there.
I have a question. I remember hearing a story.
Can you stand up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story about how Nasir Saab was originally planning perhaps to go into politics.
No, not politics. No.
Ah.
The family was trying to push him into the foreign services. कि यार इसको foreign service
He
में
was,
डाल दो.
he was working with Maulana Azam.
Oh, was he working
Yes,
with him?
yes,
Oh,
he was his personal assistant
for some time.
for some time. And at that time, and he was very good at his job. And he was also very erudite of world issues and stuff. So there came a point when Maulana Sahab asked him, he says, I would like you to continue. And he would have got a very plump post. But that's the time he took a call. Maybe deeper inside he wanted to always
Be in the film, promoting his own family.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I had heard also. That Maulana Sahab was so strict that he never wanted ever to be accused कि मैं अपने family को, chance दे रहा हूँ उसको मैं यहाँ. So he was very, very strict about that. Yeah, he was very particular about that.
No one has raised this, but I would like us to just discuss a little bit because I've been told we have another 10 minutes or so. The kind of hero that Nasir Saab had.
His heroes, Jashan's heroes, were always very attractive because they were so charming. They had a great sense of humor. They were very romantic. They were, so that kind of a personality Also, usually his heroes were, the guy who's not well off. तो underdog का एक angle भी होता था, लड़की अमीर है, So it's a very lovable kind of a character. So even today you will have, that if you go into that space, there are a lot of examples of characters in even today's films where a lot of actually examples where the hero is charming, he's funny, he's Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, or a lot of Shah Rukh's films actually where he's played the romantic lead is very much in that zone, of that hero who's very charming and you fall in love with him.
Because as Aditya Chopra said, he was very influenced. He thought that the hero of you were the hero for Mansoor in Qayamat Se, and Shah Rukh was his hero, and Prem was the hero of Suraj. And these three heroes, again, he talks about his influences from obviously Raj Kapoor and Nasir. It was a given that he'd always work with the same lyricists, for example.
Chashan? Yeah, Chashan always worked with Majrur Sahab, he always worked with, mostly with Pancham Uncle, from the time that he started working with Pancham Uncle. His DOP, Munir Khan Sahab, was consistently working with him. In the early times, he used other DOPs, but once Munir Khan came in, he was working consistently with him. His sound recordist was Manna Ladia, sorry. Manna Ladia was his sound recordist, and that was, in every film Manna Ladia ji was there.
Choreographer.
Suresh Bhatt, choreographer.
P.L. Raj?
No, so
P.L.
where
Raj, I
he
think
did do
once
the earlier films, but once he, for example, so all these people, once they came into his life, Suresh Bhatt, that was a team that consistently worked together to make films.